Reef DVM's coming at you today with a DIY horse and dog grooming tool. Many people have heard of the Ninja. The Ninja is just a simple piece of wood and a saw blade. I'm going to use a 24 tooth per inch DeWalt metal cutting saw blade, and I'll basically make the same thing. These DIY things, they're kind of fun. I like to sometimes do it. I got an old piece of oak railing here. You use anything that's somewhat round. Just cut it the way you want it so it fits your hand well. I just kind of cut it down the middle and then split it down the side, and I kind of got this funny oval out of it. If you go and look online for about $20, you can get these things in different colors, and they really do work, but they're not really worth $20 if you got a couple pieces of wood laying around and an old used hacksaw blade or a 24 tooth DeWalt sawzall blade, and you got some wood laying around. All you gotta do is kind of sand it up a bit so you don't get some rough edges on it. It makes it a little easier on your hand. So I'm just gonna sand the base of this just a little bit, and I'll probably round these edges off a little too, just to make it a little nicer. Heck, I'll just, for the video's sake, I'll even slap some stain on this and then take it to the horses. The nice thing about the small teeth is you're not really hurting the skin at all, and you're just getting out the dead coat. Now, obviously, you're not going to use this on like a Sheltie or a Shetland pony with really long, coats or furs. But, when you got dogs that are shedding out, like German Sheared Hair Pointers and some Labradors and stuff like that, and you've got horses like we have, which are Arabs and Percherons, these things work great, but I'm not going to pay $20 to have, a red piece of wood with a saw blade in it. So as you can see, I've got the corners all rounded out, and I'm just kind of getting a feel for it in my hand to make sure it grips the way I want. And this project literally took me probably a day. I made 2 of them, so I saved myself $40. Took it over to the saw, and I just cut a little line in the middle probably about an inch deep. You can use any type of saw you want to do this. Even a handsaw would do it if you just clamp the wood down in a vise. And then I just took the blade and kind of set it in there and did a trial fit. And this blade's got an end on the back of it there, and I'm just gonna probably cut that off with maybe a bolt cutter here. I'll go grab one and get that off. But as you can see, it looks pretty nice. It fits decent. It's all you need. So I cut the end of it off here with the bolt cutter, and then I'm basically gonna take some glue and I'm gonna stick it in there. And I kind of like this tight bond stuff. This really gets hard. I'm sure you could use an epoxy too, or anything stronger than probably just an Elmer's. Just grab something that's got some strength, because you just want the blade to stay in. Because sometimes, when you're scraping these horses with a, that kind of ninja type blade like that, you're really working it hard. And you don't want the blade to fall out, obviously. You want it to stay in. So I'm just going to put some glue in here and just, kind of goop it in kind of heavy and then tap it in. And I'm just going to basically shove the blade in it. It's a very simple project. I think the blades here, I bought these blades for like $1.98, so they weren't very expensive each. And like I said, it's old used piece of oak railing, so that didn't cost me anything. And 4 inches of glue on each one, and that's pretty much my only expense. So this is just kind of a fun little thing to do, and it really handy little tools. And if you drop them and you bang them up, well, you don't feel so bad because you didn't pay for $40 for a pair of them. Once I get it tapped in, just gotta wipe some of the excess glue off here. It dries pretty quick, and as you can see, this is kind of what it looks like. And for the video here, I'll make it even look nicer. I'm gonna spend some time and just kind of stain it up. I've got some Minwax stain in the basement from other projects, and put on a pair of gloves here, and I'm just gonna make it all one uniform color. And then for the sake of making it look pretty and stuff, I've got some, varnish and stuff. I'm going to grab some of that and quick spray it on too. And shucks, this thing will be just as nice as what you can buy in the stores. So, the one thing I would suggest is probably not to go with too big a teeth, so it just doesn't scratch the skin. You want to stay with the finer teeth with it. I made one of these a while back, and it lasted for years, and I just thought, I'll make another 1 or 2 of these because we could use them out in the barn. And I went online and I just price shopped, and like I said, I think you can get different colored Ninja grooming tools anywhere around $20 a piece. So making 2 of these, I'm saving a substantial amount. So there it is, on the finished end of things here with the stain, and then I'm just going to throw some painter's tape on it, get that, 3M blue tape, and just kind of pinch it on the blade. I don't really want to know why I want the blade in a different color, so, I just want to get it in the way I want it here, so I'm just going to take some spar urethane, and I'm going to just spray it up, and then that should be, good enough to keep it from water protection and other things. I think I'll let that dry for, I think about 12 hours, but I left it overnight just because I didn't want to dink with it. I just got it hanging from a chain here on the workbench, and it looks nice. So now you just basically peel the tape off this bad boy. It's kind of hard to do one-handed here while I'm holding the camera. And then take it out and go use it. If you guys haven't seen the videos online of the Great Ninja tool, it really can take off a coat when it's blowing. And of course, with its design, it's so easy to clean because it's a single blade, so nothing really gets stuck in it. It doesn't clog up. Got a little stain there on the edge up there. Let's see if I just chip that off. A little stain and varnish up there. But this is the finished product. It looks really nice. It's got a nice grip to it. You can see the tiny teeth. I'd say it's probably about 6 inches long. It's a nice tool. I made 2 of these, so hopefully it works real good here. We'll take it out and get going on the horses on it here. It's first week in April, so they start shedding the minute it starts warming up. I think lately it's been about 35 degrees out. That's enough to get the horses to start dropping those heavy winter coats. So it's a nice little tool to use on them to get it done. So take it up here on one of our girls here. This is Jewel, and all I got to do is basically just lightly use it, and off comes the fur in huge chunks. The tool works great. About 15 minutes I can take off a lot of her winter coat with a tool like this, and it doesn't jam up. You don't have to pull the fur out of multiple little teeth. If you drop it, you're not out much. You just get a dent on it and keep going, But the fur just peels off her right now, and she's blowing a coat, and again, it's so easy to clean off a single blade. It's really nice. She's a good horse. She doesn't mind this a bit. Like I said, if it was a Labrador or a German Shorthair or maybe a Rottie, anybody can use this thing. I'll give it here to my 9-year-old daughter and let her go with it. And, she holds a little differently than me, but that's fine. And as you can see, it doesn't matter which direction she goes. She likewise just gets a ton of fur out of Jewel. Like I said, this is a neat little DIY project. Maybe next year I'll let Anna make one of these and take it to the fair and see how she does in her 4-H with a homemade grooming tool like this. But it's a good tool, folks. I'd highly recommend if you got a little spare time, a little wood and hacksaw blade or a 24 tooth per inch blade, make yourself your own grooming ninja. Save yourself some money. Thank you for watching, folks. Please like or subscribe and show support for our channel, and we'll keep putting out great videos like this.